Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time finding the channel or listening, well, welcome. Thank you for finding me, and I'm happy you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today is Poetry Friday, and for you newcomers, if you don't know, Poetry Friday is about me reciting some of my work that I create or reading a poem from one of my favorite poets, authors. So, today you're in luck. It's a day where I'm going to read my own work, and this was just created this morning, so I hope you like it. It's called Love Lingers. At the end of the threshold where love lingers, I see the smile upon your face, distant between time and space, the sweetness as I kiss each of your fingers. Love, pure as the sea set free with your love that encapsulates me. My heart longs for the beat of your exhale as I find love beyond the veil. Love, in every breath I take, and in every breath I exhale, there you will find the story of a lover's tale. That's Love Lingers, and this next poem, Tears Upon the Window Pane. I woke up realizing my life was no longer the same, with tears in my eyes as they fall upon the window pane. The unthinkable happened. I had to take a moment and breathe. I was still trying to make sense of what happened. Shock, denial. Oh, I just can't believe. It's been almost 2 years that passed, and 2 days ago would have been our anniversary. My life spiraled. I still smile through the pain as tears fall upon the window pane. Each tear I shed is the pain I set free to remember the joy of treasure you left within me. Your smile, your beautiful face, locked away in memory in my heart's sacred space. Time is forever changing. Nothing remains the same. I will always shed tears as they fall upon the window pane, as I remember a love so true, pure love I found in you. Things in life is always a choice, and I meditate daily so I would never forget your voice. There isn't a day that passes you don't cross my mind. Happy, heavenly anniversary, my true love of all time, as my tears fall upon the window pane. I hope you enjoyed that poem. Well, I am going to say a couple of more poems, but before I do, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to my heart. And basically that's what you're doing, listening to my heart. You know, it's amazing when we miss somebody and we think about them and we start to write. And if you're not a writer and you definitely are missing someone, I want to encourage you to start writing down how you feel, what they meant to you, what you miss about them, and keep that alive. And when you look back at all of what you've written, it will provide you with a wealth of love, admiration, and heartfelt truth about how you felt about something or someone. So without further ado, I'm going to get back into poetry, and this next poem is called Petals That Bloom. Flower bloom, amongst the shades of gray, tainted scars that fade away, the flower blooms. Vibrant with citric colors, yellow rays of sun remind you of childhood summers filled with fun. The flower blooms. Candy now and later, blue raspberry, wild cherry too. Do you remember as the flowers dance with grace upon your taste buds? Flavors so true. The flower in the garden with love butterflies, nervous smiles, that first kiss. Moments of innocent bliss. The flower blooms. That's the end of that poem. And this last poem is called After All. But before I get into this last poem, I just want to say, if you have lost a loved one and you're suffering, this poem, I hope, sheds a little light. If you also are going through some hard times, please listen to the end of this poem. I'll have a hotline number for you as well. Again, this poem is called After All. It feels like yesterday I lost my wife. After the dust settled, I realized it's time for me to answer the call of life. The stages of grief can creep up on us and set our life ablaze, leaving us in emotional turmoil and dazed. It's hard turning over a new leaf. I realized I was going through the 5 stages of grief. My mind was busy with shock and disbelief. I thought, how could this be happening to me? My frustration and helplessness turned into anger. I had no power, my mind racing with thoughts minute by minute, hour by hour. And through all my tears, I kept thinking life is so unfair. I even tried negotiating with God, my source of light. But deep down inside, I knew that wasn't right. I thought I was going over a cliff, and then it hit me, the what ifs. What if I was more loving? Maybe if I'd done this, maybe if I'd done that. Life has its own course. It's too late for the what ifs, and it's reality, and I hate to say it, it's a fact. Then, haunted by my sins, guilt, and confessions, I landed at the bottom of the bottle, deep in my depression. I've lost the one thing in my life that was so reliable, but it was time to face my demons and reality of a truth that was undeniable. Although the love of my life is gone but not forgotten, how is it I still feel so rotten? Maybe it's time to take a sip. Nah, I thought, I just need to get a grip. I had to understand what I was feeling. I walked toward the light and asked God for healing. He put me on a path to read, and I found reflectance, and through the source of light, I found acceptance. I found answers. Crying, pounding on the bed with my fists, I was demanding. I kept up my search and soon found peace and understanding. I realized while physically I'm alone, I still have a lot to give. And by the grace of God, I found a new purpose, a new reason to live. End of poem. As we enter in a phase of acceptance when we lose a loved one, we must learn to adjust to life without our loved one, or loved ones in my case. It doesn't mean that we're forgetting about them at all. It doesn't mean that we're okay with that loss, but rather finding a healthy way to live with it. This comes with time, and everyone has their own timetable. Everyone grieves differently. Everyone grieves in a way that only they can grieve, and that's okay. Our readiness to move forward while honoring the past can be a blessing and a beautiful thing as we choose to remember all the good and cherish those memories. Hey, listen, I know losing a loved one is not easy. And if you're going through something right now, if you're going through some type of pain, if you're having a hard time coping, I want to give you some things that you can use. Go to a website, and it's called the National Mental Health Resource for Bereavement and Support. They have a hotline anywhere in the United States. That hotline number is 866-903-3787. Everything that you talk about is confidential. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone and seek out help. It's hard to deal with grieving on your own when you have no one else to turn to. I was lucky. I had God to confer with, and I was able to pick up all the reading material in the world that I can find on grieving. And I was able to make sense of my own grieving, my own bereavement. Not everybody is that lucky. I still go through my own thing, but I realize every now and then we need someone to talk to. And the other day I talked about this podcast being therapeutic because it allows me to do just this. It allows me to share my thoughts with you, but share some help. Share with you an opportunity to seek out help where you can get the tools you need to deal with what you're going through. My name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. I hope that you found something of worth in this podcast. And do me a favor, tell your family and friends, co-workers, and colleagues about this podcast. I thank you so much for listening. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Midnight Love. Hey, baby. I hope you have a minute. I want to share a poem that I've written about us. It's called Midnight Love. In the velvet night where stars align, I see visions of you so bright. In the deep of the night where silence creep, the moonlight shines upon your lips with a tender glow that's so sweet. Across galaxies, our love breaks through boundaries, a ballad of love, a tale told for centuries. When I first saw your face, I knew it was love at first sight. It was as if my soul yearned for you day and night. I was mesmerized by your beautiful brown eyes. I couldn't even say hi when you said hello, but I knew you were my sunrise and I couldn't let you go. Our love is like magic. We're under its spell. Our love is like the hidden mysteries and stories to tell. Your eyes, oh, how they're like the common seas. Before I met you, I must have been in bondage because loving you has set me free. Our love is like a timeless space, fluid in motion, a love filled with God's grace. Deep in your chambers of love, I long to stay, caressing you as the ocean sway. In your waves, I journey in peace, loving you from Aspen to Greece, motion in the ocean until you find that sweet morning's release. Let us love freely, clasping our hands so tightly while loving each other deeply until we're drained completely, embracing the moment until day, loving one another in every way. I love you. It's true, I find solace in you. I can finally breathe fresh air as I see clear there is no me without you here. Since you set me free, my heart sings a symphony, bound by our heart's harmony. I just want the world to know how much you mean to me. I want to tell the world what I found, life's oyster of love, a gem so profound. As a white dove, in you I found pure love. Let us love freely, clasping our hands so tightly, while loving each other deeply until we're drained completely, embracing the moment until day, loving one another in every way. I love you. Yeah, Dream 11. I had a dream you called my name. Let me see. It was Dream 11, I remember. That's when I took the steps to heaven. I keep hearing your song. I got bored down here trying to make sense of it all since you've been gone. I don't believe I'll ever find a woman like you, knowing that you are my one and only dream come true. That's why I took the steps to heaven. When I heard your call, I was ready to leave the world behind. I'm serious. I was ready to leave it all. Then I heard the voice of my creator saying, not now, I'll call upon you later. And since you're here, you might as well say hello. You got 1 minute, but after that, you gotta go. I was happy I got the chance to say hello. I'll never forget your beautiful smile and illuminating glow. Oh, I just wanted you to know that we'll all be alright, although things will never be the same. We all are trying to be strong, and sometimes we have to smile through our pain. Yeah, through our pain. Call me crazy, but loving you was really amazing. I'm sure you can see God has done nothing but bless me. He's put some amazing people in my life. I must be the luckiest man in the world to have had you as my wife. Like my piled up lessons, I'ma keep thanking God and count my blessings. I had a dream you called my name. Let me see. It was dream 11. I remember that's when I took the stair steps to heaven. I keep hearing your song. I got bored down here trying to make sense of it all. Since you've been gone, this world is really becoming unstable. Call me again sometime, only if you're able. I know your voice, I love it. It's my love song. And I told you that before, but it's something I really adore. So many things been happening. You know I could do some stupid things, but in hindsight I'd just be laughing. I remember we used to drive around the Harvey's Lake with the twins in the back seat, with relaxing music and the cool air used to put them to sleep. I just wanted you to know you're always on my mind, and I'm thinking of you all the time. I'll never let you go. I remember thinking life don't get no better than this. I remember writing I love you for life. I wrote that on my bucket list. Yeah, I remember. I had a dream you called my name. Let me see, it was dream 11, I remember. That's when I took the stair steps to heaven. I remember loving you forever. Yeah, dream 11. You called my name. I remember. Dream 11. Yeah. This is Dave with The Last Podcast. I want to thank you again for listening. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.